he was dared to come on his mum's pillow. And he's like, alright, and then goes upstairs to do it.
He actually did.
And then drains the water.
You drain the flavour out.
Then you're draining all the flavour out.
But it doesn't. But it doesn't. Shut the fuck up. No, it doesn't, because there's still flavouring in it, in the noodles.
Yeah,
It doesn't. No, it doesn't. This
You don't
this
drain all of it
conversation's
out, you
over.
drain
This conversation's over. All right, let's switch to something completely different. Should common sense be taught in schools?
Should common sense be taught in schools?
Yes.
Well, how would you teach common sense?
I don't know, just things that you should know. Because there's so many, I believe that there's so many people out there that just don't know things, or they're so uneducated on certain subjects that they should be.
Yeah, like practical life skills.
Yeah, like
rather-
how to do your taxes. I don't know how to fucking
Yeah.
do my taxes. My parents told me. But how did my
Just
parents know?
some tax bitch for that.
That costs money. But you can do it without costing money.
Shout out to my tax accountant. Thank you.
Shout out to my tax bitch. Thank you.
Thanks, Diana.
Thanks, Liz. But common sense. I think Reese and I had a discussion about this, and I think it's also one of the questions that is in the list of questions where I assumed it to be common sense, but it wasn't common sense to Reese. I feel
Okay.
like there's
What was
a
it?
lot of scenarios.
Yeah,
'Cause,
I want to hear this.
like, how do you define common sense? Like, one person may think it's common sense, way and another way not.
I
May
just want to
A
sort of
loose term.
this is. I know what he's about to bring up. It's kind of a borderline between common sense and common knowledge. And I still stand by my original fucking standpoint on this. Anyway, Taylor, please bring up the story.
Before I bring that up, it's also just this is also something that pissed me off, just like the one before. It was a customer at work, right, who got angry at the staff members because they didn't roll his Cooper's branded beer, right? And just for those who don't know, if a Cooper's branded beer doesn't have a best before date, it has a best after date, which means after a while sediments build up at the bottom of the beer. So when you buy the beer, you have to roll it to mix the sediments in.
Oh shit, my music stopped. Oh fuck.
Not your jazz music.
Yeah,
no.
my jazz.
Well, yeah.
Why did my jazz stop?
Yeah.
Where's my smooth jazz? Keep talking.
But this guy just got so pissed at the staff members for not rolling his beer, but the staff members didn't know. And I'm like, mate, nobody grows up knowing to roll a Cooper's beer. And he's like, yes, it's common sense. They do. And I'm like, it's not common sense, mate. Like, who knows that?
To that common sense.
Like, who knows
Brushing
about
your teeth is common sense.
Brushing your teeth is common sense, as you can see.
I walk up to my son and be like, son, you gotta roll a Cooper, son.
You gotta
Mate,
roll a Cooper's for sure. Like, no one grows up knowing that.
No.
Should be learning that by grade 2.
Yeah, but for Reese's case, I think
By
we were just.
advertising on YouTube, I grow my
I think Reese was driving me home somewhere. I can't remember where we were at the time. But we were just asking each other like common knowledge questions. And I asked Reese the question, how many jacks are in a deck of cards? Right, just think of the answer in your head. Right?
I don't know if that's common sense, but I feel like that I feel like most people should know that.
He gave me so much shit.
If I met someone who didn't know that, I'd be very surprised.
Yeah, like what would you say? How many jacks are in a deck of cards?
Yeah, you asking me?
Now I'm asking you.
It's 4.
4, right?
4 of everything.
It's 4 of every card because there's 4 fucking suits. Reese said 10. There's 10 jacks in a deck of cards. But how? Like, but that also makes you think. Like, I assume that was common knowledge. Like, everyone knows how many fucking type of cards are in a deck of cards, right? But then
it's one of those
Reese.
things. If you grow up doing a certain thing, and you, like playing cards is like normal in my family, and I'm assuming in yours.
How'd
Then
you
you
grow up?
realize you meet someone else who, yeah, I don't know.
No, going deep into we were driving because I remember immediately after you heard my answer, you called your parents to ask them and to give me shit for it. On loudspeaker. I had to sit there copping shit for your parents not know how many jacks were in the deck.
Yeah, and Reese and I had this heated debate about it, and he went out and bought me this, which is common knowledge questions. It's a whole deck of cards of common knowledge questions, and I think it would be fun if you guys, if I was to ask you some common knowledge questions,
That sounds
see
brilliant.
Yeah.
if
All
you
right.
guys.
Let's go.
And sorry for whoever's editing this. We'll have to keep a tally for the viewers.
It's probably going to be me.
Can we have that a little number next to your heads? Yep. So,
Cheers to Liam for editing this.
Thanks, me.
thanks. Oh, and someone else will do it next time.
Yeah.
Okay, so first question. Which of these big cats is endangered? A lion, a puma, a cougar, or a snow leopard?
I know that.
Are you gonna
So,
Are you gonna go through and say you answer, or are we all supposed to? Yeah.
Just in case two people say the answer and the third one's like, oh yeah, I'll just go with them. On the count of three, you all say your answer and
Alright.
we'll score a total.
Yep.
So 3, 2, 1.
Snow leopard.
Snow leopard.
I didn't even hear Reese's.
Yeah, Reese, what did you
Yeah,
say?
Reese at all.
No leopard.
Yeah, it looked
Snow
like
leopard.
lip reading. It
Pretty
looked
sure
like
it's
that's what he said through his lips.
Okay, that's good.
Yay!
You'll get a point.
Alright. We're not
What
idiots
year?
yet.
This one, I don't know if this is common knowledge or not, but maybe it is. It's pretty big. What year was the first Harry Potter novel published? The year 2000, 1999, 1998, or 1997?
Are you
Okay,
gonna
just think
count
about
us
it for a
down?
second here.
Yeah.
Yeah. In 3, 2, 1.
1997.
98. Oh, I said 98.
No, no. It's 1997.
Yay!
I know the
So-
movies, I don't know the books.
Yeah.
Oh,
And yet
okay.
you've got all the books.
Yeah, they're all stacked right here. Except for the... Oh no, the first one's right there. Never mind. I could have cheated.
You can just read the book.
Which of the following is the longest river in the world? The Amazon, the Congo, the Nile, or the Seine? Probably mispronouncing that.
Well, it's obviously not that one.
I know this one. I'm confident
Alright,
on this one.
3, 2, 1.
The Nile River.
Nile.
Alright,
Alright, good.
we're doing pretty good. What,
You
3
got
for
that?
3?
Alright, which shapes are used in a Venn diagram? Triangles, hexagons, circles, or stars?
Okay, look, we didn't even... Come on.
What the fuck is a
Obviously
Zen
stars.
diagram?
In 3, 2, 1.
Triangles.
Triangles.
What'd you say, Liam?
I said triangles.
Yeah, what did you say?
What'd you say?
Sam said circles.
A Venn diagram?
What'd you say, Reese?
I said triangles.
Two circles.
Fucking circles,
What
mate.
the fuck is a Zen diagram? I need to Google this.
What?
Venn
I've never heard of
diagram.
Venn diagram.
How do you spell it?
V-E-double-N.
Zen.
What?
V. V for Victor. E-double-N.
A Venn diagram.
I thought that was so obvious that I was like joking saying a star.
Yeah, I thought that was fucking obvious too.
Oh, that's okay. Alright. I didn't know
What do you
that's
think
what
the
that was
Zen
called.
diagram was? And it was obviously triangles. Like,
I don't know.
well, there you
Okay,
go.
I suppose I'll drink because I got that question mark.
I'll drink to that.
And your schools in Sydney are pretty sketch.
No,
Me-
we're from a sketchier high school. What are you talking about?
Yeah, and we know what a Venn diagram is. Say more
Yeah,
terms.
exactly. Okay, what is the square root of 225? 20, 35, 25, or 15? In
How
3,
the fuck are you supposed to
2,
know that?
1.
Oh, the third one.
25?
15.
So we had Sam 15 and Reese and Liam 25. The answer is 15. Good job, Sam.
How are you supposed to
I'm not
know
good at
that?
math. Like, I
I'm
don't
terrible
know.
at maths.
I don't know.
Well, I knew that off by heart.
Seemed too. Everything else seemed too high. 15 times 15 squared.
Yeah,
15
just-
times 15.
I remember memorizing what 15 times 15 was for some reason. But I know that when I asked that question to my girlfriend, she knew because of a TV show she watched, I think, or a movie or something.
This is just a segment of the podcast to make the boys look up. Or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
Figure out
No,
who's
but
like the weakest link.
It's also to prove, like, what you think is common knowledge may not be for others. But apparently, this all is common knowledge. Okay, that's not common knowledge. Alright, whose autobiography is Long Walk to Freedom? Martin Luther King Jr., Gandhi, Nelson Mandela, or Jacob Zuma? In 3, 2, 1.
Nelson
Nelson
Mandela.
Mandela.
Congratulations, guys. It's all
Hey.
At least you all agree on that one. Well, that one's fucking too easy. How many holes can be found in a bowling ball? In
It's obviously 5.
3.
Idiots whoever wrote that.
3, 2.
Yeah, you could have all 5. You got 5 fingers. It's gonna be 5 holes.
Yeah.
You guys gonna answer the question?
3.
Okay. Alright,
We even
just
have to
making sure. Just in case someone said 2 or some shit. Okay. Which scientist wrote A Brief History of Time? Stephen Hawking, James Maxwell, Rosalind Franklin, or Alexandra Graham Bell? In 3, 2, 1.
The first one.
Stephen Hawking.
Stephen Hawking, that's his name.
Congratulations. Don't even know Stephen Hawking's name.
I
Bang.
forgot. Like, halfway through.
Rest in peace.
Yeah. Okay. Which
Steve,
of
I
the
know you're
following-
watching up there. Please give us a subscribe.
Please give us a shout out, please. Which of the following fruit has segments? A nectarine, a tangerine, an apple, or a plum? In 3, 2, 1.
Tangerine.
Tangerine.
It was a tangerine.
Hey!
Very good, Reese. You
How's
suck.
that fucking common knowledge? How you
I knew
supposed to
coming
everything
on.
else wasn't. I knew that a plum didn't, and I knew that all the other ones weren't. I didn't actually technically know.
Yeah, I just guessed.
Deduced it.
I figured it's called a tangerine, and then I thought tangent, and then I thought, oh, that's math related.
I love Sam's response. I just deduced it. Sam's fucking art of deduction, mate. You're a fucking detective.
He's just straight up Sherlock.
Cheers to Sam.
Yeah, cheers to me.
Cheers.
I'm out of alcohol now, officially.
See, mate, my fucking common knowledge answers are just drying out.
Should we
However, a
do
couple more.
a couple
we'll
more
do a
questions, and then
couple
we'll go back to another topic?
Yeah, alright.
Alright. Gotta find some
Oh,
tricks.
son of a bitch. Ah, fuck. What have I done?
What
I
have
can't
you
believe
done?
you've
I was
done
on the
this.
wrong thing the entire time. There we go. That's better.
He unfriended his mum on Facebook.
What does an entomologist study?
What
That's
the fuck?
Ento, as in E-N-T-O. What does an entomologist study? Insects, birds, mammals, or reptiles? In 3,
I'm gonna
2,
put on this one.
1.
Reptiles.
Reptiles.
What'd you say, Reese?
Insects.
You're the only one who's right.
Oh!
Insects.
I took a pun on that one.
Also, can I just take a moment to say it totally sounded like you said rectiles instead of reptiles?
I may have. Who knows? I'm 3 beers deep. What else do we have here? That's a bit gay. That's
I'm gonna
No
bleep
one's
that
gonna-
out because that's a bit offensive. Just like that's a bit gay.
Okay.
A.
not gay
You
as
said
in
the
like,
G word, guys.
not literally as in like homosexual. Not the G word. Okay. What was the first name that Nissan cars were sold under? Was it Nissan? Was it Datsun? Was it Daewoo? Or Daewoo, sorry. Or Toyota? In 3, 2, 1.
Nissan?
Listen.
Dude,
What's he saying? Listen.
What'd you say, Reese?
that too.
Well, I
That's
fucking was right.
Ah.
Datsun, that's right. That was the parent company in the cars. If you guys didn't know that.
I didn't think it was Datsun because Datsun's an actual car. I've seen one.
Datsun is it's like a huge company that has like many different types of car brands under it.
Pretty
No,
sure.
but like I've walked past, like when I used to work at Hungry Jack's and I'd have to walk to and from Hungry Jack's at like 5 in the morning, I'd walk past a really old, cool looking car that was like a Datsun 500 or something like that.
It's because,
Yeah.
and I only know this because my mum told me, but they used to be called Datsuns when the manufacturer first came to Australia. So up to a certain year, it's Datsun, and then I'm pretty sure in a select few countries they've renamed it Nissan or rebranded. So Datsun is still a
Excuse
company
me.
overseas, but Nissan is the new term here in Australia.
Is it Nissan in America as well?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Probably too, yeah. But yeah, because one of Kyle's mates has a Datsun car.
Hmm.
Alright, fellas, ready for the last one?
All right, here we go.
Yeah.
Come on.
Okay. Which is the largest coffee growing country in the world? Is it Australia? That's us. Is it Costa Rica? Is it Brazil? Or is it Colombia? In 3, 2, 1.
Brazil.
Colombia.
It was Brazil.
Ah!
Congratulations.
True, that's where they tearing down the Amazon to make cocoa farms.
Yeah.
You should have known.
Damn.
Thanks, Reese.
I'm
Maybe
the
we'll
best.
visit that in another section. Leave a comment below if you guys like that.
You like watching some of the boys be dumb.
Thanks again,
Colombia
Reese.
was cocaine, not coffee. I got it mixed up.
Oh yeah. I'm always getting those two mixed up. Coffee, cocaine.
Same thing, pretty much.
Instead of
That's
sugar in
the
his
same
coffee,
job.
he's just putting cocaine in there. Can't tell the difference.
All right, thanks for doing it. And before we go into that segment, Liam, for the trivia, can you just put some confetti, fucking
Yeah,
visuals?
I'll do something nice.
All right, good.
All right, should we
Alright.
move on to the next topic?
Yes. Yes, we should.
What were we just doing? Should common sense be taught in schools? Let's get rid of that. Who's the best Spider-Man? Get rid of
Did we
that.
answer that question before
What?
going into the trivia? Should it be taught in schools?
Yeah, I think there should be a class where they teach you things like about life, like how to do taxes, how to just make friends, how to just do stuff,
Yeah.
not just like, oh, this is what happened in 1973.
Well, I guess it depends what sort of subjects. Because if it gets down to like how to make friends, I mean, like, would you be wasting like precious resources and teachers' time on teaching someone how to be friends when mostly the students in the class probably already have friends?
Well, what about the students that don't know how to make friends? What if they're socially awkward and they don't know how to do those things?
I think it's.
I was going to say something, but
What are you gonna say? Come on, you can't say you're gonna say
No,
something
no.
and not say it.
No, it wasn't.
Come on, say it. I'm not gonna do another topic until you say it.
I'm gonna get cancelled.
No, say it. Come on, I can bleep it. I
No
can
one's
cut it
cancelling
out.
us.
You
No,
spoke about
I-
your friend coming on his mum's pillow.
Freaking. No.
Come
For the
on,
sake of
say
being
it.
cancelled, it's
Say
2021.
it. Say
I'm not
it.
going to.
You gotta say it.
No.
I'll bleep it
Huh?
out. I'll cut it out.
Oh, the whole clip's cut. The whole clip's cut.
No, it's not. You guys
It
can leave
will
in.
be. No, it will be. I 100% will cut it out. You just gotta say it.
I didn't have something in my head thought. It was just going to be along the lines of something like, well, they're going to be fucking losers or something forever.
Oh, okay.
I hadn't have made a joke in my head, but I was starting to think of a joke, but then I had to stop myself.
Oh.
I genuinely believe that it's a case by case basis. I think that yes, it should be a part of a high school curriculum that at least more general. It's not life lessons, because a lot of things in life I feel like have to be experienced as you're experiencing them. To have knowledge of it beforehand will only make you weary to even approach that sort of part of life. But I think the general things, especially taxes, I think that's the number one thing which should be taught is not even just how to do them and submit them, but understanding how it works and the math behind it and things like that. Because again, once you leave high school and you get your first job, it becomes such an integral part of your like working in the being in the workforce is tax. You're hearing about it like it's just as a term, it's circulated so often. I think that teachers should, because again, some teachers that you have are so like fucking formed as a teacher. It's like I would like it if, and we all have, well, Taylor Liam and I, I'm sure, have one teacher in mind who was the most casual with us. But it I think is important for teachers to take that more casual approach in teaching and be open with students about things in life and going forward. I think if anything, PDHPE or like those like the health sort of subjects are the best, which taught us about sort of like drug awareness and sex and things like that. Could probably also teach us about like life skills and not just personal health. Because there were so many moments where we were studying shit. Like PDHP was one of my worst. Like I hated the subject because most of the time we were talking about things that didn't interest me, but the things like drugs and sex, which only covered a small portion of the initial PDHPE class, did cover, and that was interesting to me. But the rest of it wasn't. I don't know. So yes, mailman, I do think that it shouldn't be. It's not. It wouldn't be termed common sense, but a lot of the knowledge that would be taught and personal experience from teachers, maybe bringing in people who are just out of high school or out of high school for a long time and talk to you about their life. I think would be really interesting. Because as a young kid, or as a high schooler, I was so naive to how something so little can affect so much more of your decisions.
Yeah.
And I guess having someone other than a parent tell that to you would probably sink in a little bit more. I don't know. So yeah, I do think that that teaching should take less of an academic approach and more of a personal approach to students.
Yeah. All right. One thing I would like, going off of what you said about teachers taking a more what was the word, casual approach. One thing I would like teachers and that sort of thing to talk about in class is mental health. Because thinking back to high school, and like PDHP is a perfect example, I don't remember anything about, teachers saying, oh, mental health is a really important thing or a really important subject, and it's one of the most important things in your life. I just think that's something that could really be talked about.
And see, now I do have a memory of learning it. However, that only memory is looking at a whiteboard and writing down what the teacher wrote.
Yeah, that's not
How
helpful
is
to
that
students at
teaching
all.
me about mental health?
No.
We need to have someone actually explaining to us, like the effects of it. I don't know if you did, but I know that the school occasionally, I think twice, I went to it, offered up like a driving awareness course.
Yeah,
where
I went to that.
It's like an excursion. You'd go to a
that
driving
twice.
school. Yeah, I did that twice too. And they teach you about driving awareness and driving safety, and I learnt a lot from that, I suppose. I don't know how much stuck with me when I started driving, but still, I learnt a lot from it. And both times, what they did was they taught us about the negative effects of driving and what could happen to you if you have a car accident. And we actually met two survivors from pretty severe car accidents. One of them was in a wheelchair, and the other person wasn't, but was severely impacted from it. And I still remember what they looked like, and I don't remember their names or anything, but their stories live with me.
Yeah. I still remember the story as well.
And again, because you're actually hearing someone who's not your parent or a teacher necessarily speak to you about something which did happen, and you're learning that shit from this little thing here can have this big of an effect. So I genuinely think that high schools or like the Department of Education should enforce where mentors or people, public speakers, like TED Talks, I suppose, people can actually come into your school and talk to students on a really casual level about the effects of life, so that it could actually also help your mental health, because when you go into life, you've got some sort of, or some people may at least, have some sort of expectation for it, rather than leaving high school and being introduced to the whole open wide world, and one little thing happens to you and you feel like it's fucked up your whole life and you do something really bad to yourself. I think
Exactly.
if at least you're reassured before you leave high school that something small happening isn't the end of the world, such as I think something so common for high schoolers is you leave high school and you're declined a uni course, or you're like turned away from uni, or you don't get exactly the study level that you want, or you don't get a job immediately. I think that's something which really impacted me when I first left high school, but I was later reassured that it really didn't mean shit, because I had to have a different outlook on it. Anyway, so yeah, I think that common sense as a loose umbrella term should be taught in school, but in a very more personal, casual approach. Now, I wouldn't consider it teaching. I'd consider it like mentoring.
Yeah, 100%.
I like that.
That's well said, mate.
Well, I'm sorry, but that's the story. So again, I get so serious, I fucking break down into everything. Ugh, Sam,
I was killing the whole podcast.
it seems like fuck this. Well, I want to final edit and Liam just cut all of my fucking talking bits out.
The only shots of you is just you going.
I think more of a mature audience viewers would really understand and relate to that. So
Liam just makes a Reese cut, and it's just Reese just fucking rambling on.
This goes for
Rambling on
like
for
2
2
hours.
100%.
Alright, if no one else has got anything to say, I guess we'll cheers to that and move on to the next thing.
Well, I'm actually gonna go grab another beer. Let's try with you fellas.
Alright.
I think my my beer giver is falling asleep, so I have to go get it myself now.
All right. I'll pick out a subject and I'll wait for you to come back before discussing it.
Thanks.
So, penis.
Can they be too large? Now, my understanding is yes. What do you guys think?
Yeah. Gets to a point where it's just scary.
I've seen some porn videos where I look at it and I'm genuinely like, it's just, yeah, but it's a bit like, not only one, doesn't that hurt, but two, like, the fact that you couldn't have sex
Yeah, it
properly.
just becomes a burden.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like, you hear stories of, like, guys with dicks that are, like, so long that when they get an erection, all the blood just rushes to their dick and
Yeah, and
they
they
fucking
lose
pass out.
brain cells.
It's like,
Yeah, it's like those like long-necked dinosaurs when they eat too much, all their blood rushes and they pass out.
ooh, head's dizzy.
Like, your dick's too big, you got an erection.
Whoa!
Liam! He gets back, I'm gonna say dick in the arse.
No, I can still hear you. My chair fell.
I was gonna say he just disappeared. Hang on. Yes, dick in the arse.
Right, it doesn't feel that bad. It's actually quite enjoyable.
What? You guys are fucking with me.
Oh.
Yeah, I know, I fucking hate that guy. Oh, she's like,
Next topic. Okay, have you ever caught someone jerking off?
Have I now caught someone jerking off?
That's right. We switched roles.
Well,
I don't think so.
speaking on behalf of a guy who is a twin, I'm a twin, and my twin brother and I had to share a room up until the point where I moved out at 18 years old. I've never caught him jerking off. I don't know if he ever does that. I've never.
Seems like a ninja.
I don't even see him as a person that would do that, to be honest.
I slept in the same room with Kyle up until 18 years old as well, and not once have I ever, to this day, seen him.
Yeah, because
I don't know about him to me, but yeah.
Because, like, truthfully tell me, fellas, I mean, like, do any of you jack off in your bedroom?
Yeah.
Yes.
Rarely.
Rarely. Okay,
Rarely.
I live in a
I
house.
never-
What? I never. I don't know. Okay. Well, I live in a house.
I never do.
I
Because,
live in
well,
a
for
house.
once,
The bathroom's just my place. It's just where I feel
maybe
like
it's because
Yeah.
Reese and I had to share a room with someone, but you can never do it in the bedroom because there's always a person there. So it was either, I think at first it was the shower for me, but now it's just on the toilet because there's no cleanup involved. You just
Backyard.
finish and then
On the front porch.
backyard. Just do it on the toilet and then flush. But over 18 years, I've never caught Andy doing any of that. Yeah, but
I've got a really funny story, but I want to hear Liam and Sam answer before I say it.
Yeah, I've never never happened.
Well, that must be nice because I've caught my older brother jerking off hundreds of times.
hundreds of times,
Yep.
which well, it can't actually be hundreds, but
I'm sure
No, I reckon it's close to it.
I picture the
Close.
last time Liam just opens a door and he's just standing there. He's just like, really? Again?
Get inside.
No, it's because like I've never shared a room with any of my brothers, but the way it would happen is, you know, it was in high school and I would get up in the morning to go to school, and my brother he had like graduated or something, so all he did was just stay home, and I would
jerk off.
go from my room to the laundry to get my clothes out of the dryer. Right?
I've heard this story.
You have?
Yeah,
I haven't.
Okay, I don't remember telling you this story, but alright, yeah, and I'll go to the laundry to get my clothes, and to get to the laundry, I would come out of my room, turn right, and then walk, and there's the laundry, but to the left of the laundry, right, there's my brother's room. And so I'd walk to the laundry, and he always has his door open.
Why
so-
would you do that with
Why
the
would
door?
you
And
do it with the door open?
And so I would just, you know, oh, there's an open door, so instinctively, I glance, right, and then there he is, facing his wall, and just from underneath the blankets, there's just like this fucking... And I just fucking... This happens fucking so many times. The most recent time it happened, right? My girlfriend was over.
What'd you do? You just came through the door right now.
So my girlfriend, no, because it was my other brother.
Oh, right.
Yeah. I'm gonna bleep that out. So my girlfriend and I got up in the morning. We had to drive to her house so we could go with her parents and go to the Hunter Valley for a little holiday thing. And as we got dressed and then we went to leave, we had our bags packed and everything. I opened the door and this was in a different house. So once I opened the door, I had a clear view of his door, which was open. And
that's what baffles me.
And his bed was not in a position where he could like face the wall. If he was still facing the wall, you could still see his face. And so,
Makes it like way worse.
and so, and so,
The moment, like just looking, just like.
so I open the door. I open the door. My girlfriend's behind me, and I see what's happening. And I quickly turn back to like try and get my girlfriend not to look, but it's too late, and I'm just like, oh my fucking god! And so I just go forward and I close his door for him, and I'm just like, fucking hell!
Fuck.
It was fucking terrible.
You just punch him in the dick.
I should have. There's so many things I wish I should have done.
Punch him in the dick.
I should have just,
punch him in the...
but I didn't. I just went up and just fucking closed the door. I should have just yelled at him and been like, "Close your fucking door!" But I didn't. I just went up and just closed the door, and I just like, I just went. I just got in the car and we just drove away. And I was like, I'm so glad you didn't see that. But she was like, I did. And I was like, what do I do now?
Imagine like, once you close the door, would he have continued?
Probably.
Yeah, why wouldn't you?
Would you just been like, just.
I bet he would have gotten up, opened the door, and then continued.
Fucking weird.
You can only do it when the door's open. Maybe that's like his thing.
Fucking weird.
The door's got to be open. It's exhilarating. You got to try it.
Okay.
Oh, my
Reese,
project
I
catch
want to
me any
hear. I
minute.
want to
Oh.
hear your story. I want to hear your story.
Okay, so I'm gonna sort of stretch it out just a little bit, like I'm fucking good at doing. Okay, so growing up, Daniel, my mate, would always visit me from Queensland, and he would frequently always sort of fuck with my head about being like, "Oh, I jerked off in your bathroom," like the other day. And I'm like, "Mate, it's a one bathroom in the house. I have to fucking shower in that same shower." And I was like, it was just something that grossed me out, but. He always did that as a joke, and it was funny. We always laugh at it. He still does it. We laugh at it. But when I was living with my ex, he visited us twice, and he stayed in the house. And we designated him the master bedroom when her parents were away. So I come up the stairs one day, and I walk around. And I don't even knock on the door, I just open it. I walk in, and he's lying in her mum's bed, just having a go, just jerking off.
Having a talk.
In her mum's bed, just... And as soon as I open the door, I look at him, and he stops, and he looks at me, and we just look at each other. But I just continue, I continue to ask him what I was supposed to ask him in the first place.
Leave the man some privacy.
He's got the covers on, but I just look at him, and in my head, it was like 13 plus years of just hearing about this like shit from him. That it was like this moment of just looking at him, knowing what he was doing. Fair, like it wasn't like it was obvious, but I knew what he was doing. I looked at him, and in my head, I'm just like, I don't give a shit. I don't fucking care. I need to know the answer to my question. So I just asked him the question anyway, while he's just lying there, fucking mid jerk off.
Stick in his hand.
What, the question's just like, did you take the pins out?
Oh, no, something stupid like that.
You couldn't fucking wait. Give the man some privacy, for God's sake. He's jerking off in your mum's bed or whatever it is.
From his point of view, it's even funnier because he's just there in the moment. All of a sudden, I walk in and I'm just in the doorway, and it's just like I'm just looking at him, and it's just like, But
and you're asking some stupid shit.
To this day, and I doubt she'll watch this, but to this day, no one knew that happened. So and Daniel loves it. When we broke up, Daniel was like, "Well, she'll never know that I jerked off in her mum's bed." Just like, who can say that? Who can what mate can say that they've jerked off in their mate's mum?
Yeah.
Or their mate's girlfriend's mum's bed. Like it's such a power play.
I mean, we know one person. But spend
Oh, right, yeah, that guy.
Come on his mum's pillow. So we know 2 people that have done that.
Oh,
Bless you.
thank you.
Liam, mate, back with the fireball.
Yeah,
I'm
I
drinking
ran out of
that.
my other drink, so cheers to that.
Cheers. Not sponsored, but Heineken, if you want to
Please.
sponsor us.
I love Heineken also.
I will happily drink only Heinekens for the rest of my life if you want to sponsor us.
Hey, mate. I fucking love you for saying that, mate.
It's such a beautiful beer.
That's
Pure
fine.
malt lager. Please sponsor us. Hope you guys enjoyed, and we'll see you in the next one.
Well, what am I doing? Hang on, let's
I
go
don't
again.
know. Do we wave? Do we do a
Two, anything. 3, 2, 1. See you next time.
Sam didn't do anything.